Okay, this week we are doing a movie. Love Lies Bleeding. It's a really good movie. Has Kristen Stewart and some other people like Ed Harris and the other Franco brother
Dave.
talking about Jackie and Lou. They're in a relationship. Can't. All right, this week we're doing Love Lies Bleeding, a film that explores attraction, obsession, lust, crime, dark pasts, really bad fathers, bodybuilding, pushing the body to the limit, the dangers of supplements, maybe, anger, vicious cycles of trauma and abuse, and also overcoming those and throwing caution to the wind in some ways. And some jaw-dropping violence. You have to watch the movie to get that reference. We're doing Love Lies Bleeding, a film that I'm very excited to talk about. That's the intro. You can.
I too, Hunter Callahan, am interested in talking about this film. But before we do such a thing, I must preface the conversation that we are about to have with a question which I am about to ask.
Yes.
And that question, which is about to come out of my mouth, is coming out of my mouth now.
Okay.
But is Love Lies Bleeding good?
But is it good? We're gonna find out.
We're gonna tell today.
Gonna talk about the movie today. Love Lies Bleeding. Is it good or is it bad? Who knows? Lou and Jackie and her really bad dad. They're doing crimes and working out. They're doing crimes. And they're working out. They're doing steroids.
And
they're getting really buff. But also maybe having anger management issues. Her sister getting beat up by a douchebag who's got a really bad mullet and a worse mustache. Let's do it.
But is it good podcast? Yeah.
Hey.
Did you just delete everything?
Everything. Everything's gone. No, I have everything.
Okay.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. My name is Hunter.
My name is Zach.
And this week we're discussing Love Lies Bleeding.
Love Lies Bleeding. So, Hunter.
Yes, Zach.
How's your hairline?
Oh, look at it. It's pretty good. I mean, I do have hat hair.
Yours is perfect. I'm so jealous of you.
Look at it. You see it?
It's amazing. Yeah. If I had that hairline, I would never cut my hair.
Like ever?
Actually, I would do whatever I wanted.
Do you remember when I had like really long hair?
Like down to your butt? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you cut it at that point? Because that was too long.
Probably.
That was too long.
Yeah, that was too long.
But I would like to get... You remember, I used to have it where I would just like tuck it behind my ears and be like,
Vibing?
Yeah.
Good. Were you like, did you go bumping?
No, I never went bumping. I don't have the stereo for it in my car. My little Honda Civic.
Oh, yeah.
You
can crank it, though. Get some flabby bass.
You can crank it, but it buzzes. You know what I mean? Like on the side panels, they're not optimized for loud volumes.
Anyway, how's life? How are you?
Well, I'm bummed because I can't go bumping.
I'd be bummed if I couldn't go bumping either.
You can go bumping in your truck. Although it's a little harder.
I could probably bump a little more than you could, but not like bumping.
But you have the option to, like, you could fill your entire truck bed with subwoofers.
I could.
And bump.
I could bump.
You could bump hard.
I could go bumping big time.
I'm good. How are you, Hunter?
I'm all right. Doing good. Got back from Birmingham last week, and I'm not traveling for a while, so like I'm just chilling.
That's good.
Getting ready for my show and
how did rehearsal go?
Good. So we're at an interesting point now in rehearsals where we everything else we're doing we have to learn.
So I could give suggestions?
I guess.
Is it too late?
Well, like we have to learn new songs.
Right. So
that I've written.
Oh, that you've written. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
We're doing a couple of covers.
Okay, cool.
Which one do you want us to do?
I think you should do Cruel Summer.
Oh, that would be an interesting choice.
Yep.
Like the one from the 90s?
No.
Or Taylor Swift's version?
Taylor Swift's version, obviously.
I think we're going to do a Prince song.
Purple Rain?
No.
Dearly Beloved?
No. Do you want me to tell you? Do you want to be surprised?
I'll be surprised.
So don't
I'll
tell
be
you?
surprised.
Or like either way?
No, I want to be surprised.
Okay, cool. But I'm good. Anyway, yeah.
That's good.
Sorry, my mic is messed up. Love Lies Bleeding. Do you see any love? Is it bleeding and is it lying down?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Spoilers. Well, I guess not spoilers ahead, not yet. Like and subscribe. I don't know what we're doing.
Please.
I'm tired.
Please.
Please like and is that pillow in the shot?
Please like and subscribe to our podcast. Yeah.
That pillow was in the shot.
That was my early 2000s
Tagline or whatever.
No, emo. Please like and subscribe to our podcast. Yeah.
And tonight will be the night
Then I will fall for you.
over again.
Yep. Yep, you know.
Don't make me change my mind. Okay.
Yep. You should cover that. Do you know
I
how
will live to see another day.
Do you know how funny that
I
would be?
swear it's true.
Do you know how funny that would be? Right in the middle of your set with the voice. Because tonight will be the night.
I will fall for you. Over again.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man.
One day when you've given up, can you do that at Eddie's?
Please, yeah. Anyway, yeah, cool. Wrap up. What am I saying?
Follow, like, and
Follow
subscribe.
and like and subscribe. I don't know when
To
I'm going
us.
to post on social media again, but I'm going to do it again eventually.
You'll see this thumbs up
we had
next year.
We had 175 downloads this week.
Did we really?
Yeah, which is not a lot, but it's a lot for us. I think it was one day actually. It's yesterday.
All Star Wars?
No, I think it was just somebody subbed and they're like, I want every episode.
That's always nice.
And I was like, nice. Some guy from Boardman, USA. But there's
Boardman?
7 Boardman USAs.
Okay.
So it was
Didn't give a state.
Oregon, Ohio, Florida,
Okay.
whichever one you are. Gracias.
Send us an email at biigpodcast at gmail.com.
Or Bud is a good podcast.
Or Bud is a good podcast at gmail.com. We will respond to you. We'll read it on the air. No, we're not live. Stupid idiot. We're not. But we'll read it
during recording.
during recording.
Okay, so Zach,
Mm-hmm.
your first reaction. This is my ship. I'm going to steer it. Driving right into
This
you.
is your shit. Yeah. This is your shit.
That's what I said.
You said ship, but I thought you said shit.
Maybe I said shit.
You steer shit?
Your first reaction
Like cow shit?
to
Like a
love-
steer?
to Love Lies Bleeding.
Okay. This, I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a slow burn at first. I wasn't sure where it was going. Immediately, it was evident to me that everyone in New Mexico, I think,
I actually don't even know where they were.
I think they were in New Mexico. Anyways,
It's like the West desert. The desert.
wherever they are
Mm-hmm.
in the late 80s,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's greasy.
Greasy. It's like Top Gun.
But in Top Gun, they were just sprayed.
Yeah.
In this, they're greasy.
Someone cooked some bacon and just took the grease and
Put it in their hair.
yeah.
I will say that about 35 minutes into the film, something happens. I think you know what it is. And I thought, hell yeah, let's go. And then from then on, I was hooked. I don't know, I was all the way on board. Yeah, I thought the performances were great. Kristen Stewart, I don't have many other films that I've seen her in other than the Twilight movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought she did a fantastic job. And yeah, no, overall I thought I will say one thing though. There's a character in the film, no spoilers, character in the film who's particularly sinister and plotting and seems like a very he seems like the character that's the put together villain. He needs to get his hair figured out. That's all I'm going to say because it was throwing me off. Okay.
It's a choice.
It's a definite choice.
It's a choice for sure.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was great. And then something happens at the end that was like, what the fuck? But we'll talk about that. You know,
Yeah.
it's an A24 film, so I guess
they gotta have something in there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like, hold on a minute. I would agree with all that. I think I really, really enjoyed it. The biggest comment that I can give this movie is that I could not pin it down.
Yeah.
Every time I thought I knew which way it was going, I was like, son of a bitch, what's happening? Definitely kept me on my toes. There was a moment, I guess it's about half an hour, maybe a little bit more.
A little bit more, yeah.
Where I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, surely I won't see that again. Then I was like, son of a gun.
There it is.
Well, then.
We see it a couple more times.
Yes. And then, yes, at the end, I had the moment of like, hold on a minute. Excuse me. But I guess, when you stop and look at it as an abstract viewer in an A24 film, you're like, okay, I see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I loved the performances. I thought Kristen Stewart, she does have the Kristen Stewart-isms that people kind of
like the little face,
kind of like poke fun about,
right?
The awkwardness, but it definitely works for this film. There's some moments in this that I think really pay off, like the depth of her acting.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, I don't know the actress's name, but the girl who played Jackie,
Katy O'Brian.
I thought she was phenomenal. Franco is a perfectly lovable scumbag. And by that I mean he's not lovable at all.
Right.
Ed Harris is always great. The cast was great. Jena Malone was great. I don't know how to say her last name. Anna Baryshnikov.
Yeah, I think Baryshnikov.
She's kind of like on the DL, great little character in there. That definitely adds a lot of twists and stuff. I thought it was great. Again, my biggest compliment is that I literally could not
pin it down.
I couldn't.
Figure out
It wasn't predictable at all. Everything it did, I was like, I kept thinking that I knew what was coming, and I just was
you don't
proven wrong the entire time.
You don't know what's coming.
But I thought it was fantastic.
Well, there you have it.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
So this is the point in the episode where we have spoilers on the horizon.
Talking about spoilers. Yeah, they're gonna spoil the movie. And spoilers are coming.
We're not talking about the spoilers on a car. No, not spoilers on a car. I thought you were going to keep going and we would layer.
Sorry, we go. 1, 2, 3. No, the spoilers in the movie.
Not
the details
on a
from
car.
the film.
We're
if you haven't seen it, now you're going to know
the details from
happens.
the film. And if you haven't seen it, then you're going to know what happens.
Turn off
if you
the
want to see
podcast. Go see
Turn
it
off the
first.
podcast and see it.
Come back and listen.
And then
from
we'll
this
talk
point
about spoilers.
On, because spoilers are coming. Oh, yes,
Love
they
Shack.
are coming.
Woo!
Spoilers are coming. Oh, yes, they are coming.
I did Love Shack, so now you gotta do the
Love Shack, baby. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
I don't know the words to that song. How's it go?
Give me a second. Give me 2 seconds. Love Shack.
I'm going to get my timer ready while you're looking at the lyrics to Love Shack.
If you see a faded sign at the side of the road that says 15 miles to the Love Shack. Something like that. Does that sound right?
Sure. All right, it's my turn, right?
The Love Shack is a little place where we can discuss spoilers.
Love Shack, baby.
Do we have to demonetize this now?
Probably. We're
Cool.
not making any money off this anyway. Here you go. This is Love Lies Bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
In 1 minute. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's the 80s. We're working at the gym. A bunch of dudes working out. Lou works there. It's Kristen Stewart. She's, cleaning out some toilet stuff. Daisy's in love with her. She looks like she's like a crackhead of some sorts. Who knows? Anyway, she's part of a family who lives in that town. Her dad has really bad hair, but he's also a gun runner and crime boss. Her sister's being abused by a douchebag with a mustache. They meet Jackie. Jackie just slept with her brother to get a job at her dad's gun range. Anyway, Jackie and Lou fall in love. She's going to win this bodybuilding thing. She starts taking steroids. Anyway, so her brother-in-law beats the crap out of her sister, so mad that she goes to the hospital. Lou, like, is breaking down. Jackie loses it, goes to find her brother, breaks his jaw off and kills him. Lou, like, tries to hide the body but also frame her dad, so, like, her past, which her dad's a crime boss and she killed somebody, comes to light and all hell breaks loose. Jackie, like, is almost working for her dad, she tries to kill Daisy, but anyway, there's a confrontation, they become giants and the dad gets caught, and that's it.
It's the end of the film.
They become giants.
They joined the NFL team.
The giant. That's what I mean. They become giants. They get signed by the NFL team, the New York Giants, or it could have been. Isn't there a Giants? Oh, baseball.
Yeah.
Could have been San Francisco. Is there a hockey team called the Giants?
No.
That's the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
I never liked that name because I'm always like Texas Rangers.
Okay. Well, I don't like the New York Giants because San Francisco Giants. You could say the same thing.
I agree with you on that because I like baseball better than football.
Well, there you go. Well, okay. Well, any team that's the Tigers is copying the first team that was the Tigers.
Which was?
I don't know.
Let's
Auburn, maybe. Auburn's been around for a long time.
Start talking about the movie. I'm going to see some reviews. What was the first team to be called the Tigers? Richmond Water Polo Club.
Okay, that is in Australia.
Probably the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers, 1894. Anyway, oh wait, Mizzou, 1890. Might be Mizzou. When did Auburn start playing football? Mizzou. Mizzou's got it so far. Anyway, the movie. So what'd you think of the opening montage of just like dudes working out? We get a nice zoom in on like a hairy nipple.
We did get a nice zoom in on a hairy nipple. I think it opened though with this ominous red cavern or this ominous red like chasm. That's why I lost the ability to speak there for a second.
Fine.
But then we get the gym montage, and yeah, it was. That's when it became clear to me that everyone, which they were working out, so that made sense.
They were all
sweaty and greasy. I like the motivational stuff on the wall. It's like pain is weakness leaving your body.
Yeah,
because it's not true. Pain is a sign of something might be wrong. I mean, in some cases, normal soreness is perfectly fine when you're.
That's a sign of growth
when you're exercising. However, if it becomes sharp and acute, you may have torn something. I have these marks on my shoulders.
That's my fault, isn't it?
It's not your fault because I chose to do it, but you instructed me to. We were doing this thing.
Pull over.
We're jacking someone off behind us.
I thought we were doing pullovers.
Okay, maybe we were. Either way, I stretched too far or something, and on both of my arms, I got these stretch marks. I think I've got 2 on each arm. 1, 2.
Stripes.
1, 2.
Tiger stripes.
Like a tiger. Mizzou.
Tied like a tiger. Anyway, yes. We're in the gym. Lou's cleaning out shit of a toilet, and we meet Daisy.
It looked like throw up to me, because it was like reddish.
Yeah.
It was probably, because you know how, jumping ahead a little bit, you know how Jackie takes too many steroids and throws up? Mm-hmm. My assumption is that a lot of people take too many steroids and throw up.
Probably.
And in the late 80s, there were probably a lot of people taking steroids. I mean, they were all over the gym, right? Mm-hmm. So it was probably throw up.
Okay, well, still.
Or bloody shit.
Bloody shit. But we first meet Jackie, who is very much infatuated with Lou, and that kind of is a reoccurring theme, if you will, of this movie. Infatuation, lust, attraction, obsession, almost. Maybe not even almost. How would you describe Lou at the beginning of this? What is she? She's kind of a keeps to herself. You know, she's I'm not gonna say in a bad mood all the time, but she's obviously
She seems like
on
someone who doesn't fit into society, who's had a traumatic childhood, which as the film goes on, we learn that's what she
That
is.
is true. Yeah.
You know.
Because there's also I noticed might be silly of me to point out, but it's a detail. When we finally see what happened, and it's like that red shot, because we see glimpses of her dad and the spoilers, I guess, probably spoilers of the victim. When we see her in it, she's distinctly different looking.
Yeah.
She's very much. I think she's got like a flannel shirt on. She looks like she's like the female young version of her dad.
Right. Yeah.
I don't say country. That sounds wrong, but like
Country.
she's cleaner, I guess.
Less greasy.
But her appearance looks like somebody who is rebelling in some way.
Yeah, she's obviously. I mean, we find this out as the film goes on, but she's obviously unhappy at her place of employment. Turns out her dad owns the place. Customers are coming up saying it's kind of a shithole, right?
Yeah.
And customers are coming up saying the toilet's clogged. She's like, use another one.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Yep.
And then
that's really good.
Vending machine. I can't get a Sprite out of the vending machine. That sucks. But she's like, ugh, I'm not gonna fix it. Here's your Sprite. And he's like, I'm the FBI. And he gives her the card.
Oh yeah.
See what I did?
Yeah. And that's when he says like something about her mom, and she's like,
My mom's gone.
yeah, I don't know.
And he says dead, and she says gone. Which her mom probably is dead.
Yeah.
No matter what Lou Sr. says.
Yeah. Probably.
So
I had a thought, but I stopped myself because it's not related to this movie.
What's your thought? I love tangents.
I watched Dune last night.
Okay.
Well, I watched most of Dune last night.
Part
No,
one.
I watched like half of
Part
one.
one?
Yeah,
Okay.
part one. And because I'm almost done with the book, actually.
Okay.
Page like 450. And I realized, you'll see why I made this connection. Just hang in there with me. There's a scene where the Bene Gesserit, Peter, and the Baron are like in their cone of silence or whatever. You see that weird like spider thing,
Yeah.
with like the human hands and stuff. And I was like, what the hell? That's not in the book.
Yeah.
And so I Googled it. I was like, what is that? And there's a theory that is Dr. Yua's wife. And I was like, that's horrifying.
It's awful.
Yeah. And the like graphics, I don't know what, I guess it's like CGI, the head of CGI, I'm not sure what his title was, said that they believed that, that used to be a person.
Well, yeah.
And
I mean,
it was like experimented on. And I was like, that is absolutely horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So this
that
week.
Could be Lou's mom.
This week, you connected it to Dune.
I did connect it to Dune. Damn it.
Yep. So, anyways, they take the water of life, which is steroids.
I really enjoyed the. Again, that's a weird way to say it, but the first time we meet Lou, it's really funny because she's sleeping with. What is his name? JJ.
You're talking about Jackie, not Lou.
Yeah, sorry, Jackie.
It's funny that they call it sleeping because they both seemed very awake.
Very awake, and Jackie seemed very, very unimpressed.
Yeah,
and bored.
She was doing it for a job,
and JJ was having the time of his life.
Yeah,
which he's a great, just worst character.
It's funny that you fixate on the mustache because I fixate on the mullet.
The mullet is awful. It's not even a good mullet.
No, it's not.
It's like stringy,
too long. Yeah, it's greasy.
It's
they're
greasy.
all greasy.
What's funny to me though is that's not even the scene that made me hate him.
Okay.
Well, it's not a great scene, but the scene that made me hate him is the next time we see him when he's at home.
Mm-hmm.
And like Beth is like running around.
Yep.
With like the 5 kids that they have, and she's like obviously hanging on by a thread, and
she's got
living out of fear.
Right. Well, she's got a broken arm or a sprained arm or something.
She's hurt
and a cut on her lip, and it's clear.
And and he just looks like he's watching TV and just looks annoyed.
Yep.
And I was like, that
yep.
guy. the worst.
Yeah. I did have a
worst.
thought. This is in no way any justification for anything. I'm going to go on a tangent. Have you seen The Sopranos?
I haven't seen The Sopranos.
Okay. Do you plan on watching it?
I don't. You can spoil whatever you want.
There's a character in the show. You know, The Sopranos is about like the
mob or
mob,
whatever, yeah.
right? Italian mob family living in New Jersey. There's someone who's a member of the family who is an informant for the FBI, and it stresses him out so much that he's like abusive. Not that that's just, but he's.
Oh, I forgot he's an informant.
Yeah, so JJ's an informant.
Yeah.
And is also working directly for Lou Sr. And so, yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's just a small tangent because that doesn't justify any sort of awful behavior towards anyone that you claim to love or care for. So never mind.
Yeah. He's just kind of a dirtbag.
He's a dirtbag.
They do a very good job of making it seem that way. But yeah, so we see whether or not it's not really admitted until later, at least to herself, like with Lou, but we see her reason for staying there, and that is her sister,
Beth,
who is like, not only can she not get out of a toxic relationship, but she's not willing to. You know, like towards the end, I know we're jumping around, but this is the kind of movie that like you can kind of jump around with, I guess, when something massive happens, which we'll come back and talk about. Beth confronts Lou about it, and Lou's like, he's an asshole. Like, what are you? And she's like, you know anything about love? It's my husband. I love him. She's like, you are just like, goodness gracious.
she calls her a moron.
Yeah, she like, gaslights her and stuff. Anyway, let's just talk about the big thing. So
The jaw-dropping scene.
Jaw-dropping scene. Anyway, Lou and Jackie start a relationship, which I do want to talk about that.
Let's pick one.
All right, we can do Lou and Jackie first because it leads into it. They start this very, intense relationship and very intense romance.
You mean when they have sex in the gym?
Did they have sex in the gym?
Do they not? Do they make out? Do they go home before they have sex?
I think that they go home.
Okay.
I thought they went home.
Okay.
Because in the next
But she
scene,
sticks her in the ass with a
like,
needle, with a needle. So they do
I
that.
think they go home. Pretty
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so they're talking and like, what is she? She's what do they call her? A muscle mommy. But she gives her steroids, and they get hot and heavy. And I will say that I really enjoyed the relationship. I think it's an interesting. It's not so. I think it's a refreshing take. It's not so much so like, it's romantic, but it's also not like Hollywood romance.
Right.
It's like a very intense, animalistic, like passionate, lustful infatuation. That can kind of become an obsession. It's kind of like, in the romance, you get to know this person and you're like, okay, you kind of feel it out and figure out if you want to take that step with somebody. But with them, it's just like, no, we're in it and we'll figure it out later. You kind of throw caution to the wind.
Yeah.
It's like Jackie is kind of a drifter, but she's all right. Pre-Lou, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm saying like she there's hints at her like a rough home life that she got out of.
Yeah.
And yes, she's a drifter in the sense that she kind of sleeps wherever, but she's like, okay, she seems happy enough. And then jumps into this, I guess, surrenders to this attraction with Lou. Do you like my nails?
Huh?
Do you like my nails?
Yep. Yep, I do.
And from that stems a whole bunch of problems.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like Lou, but Lou clearly has a dark past and a little bit of darkness in her. So like, I don't know if Jackie would have used steroids if Lou hadn't like encouraged her to, right? So she started her down that path.
Because she even said like, what'd she say, like au naturel or whatever? She like brags about being like natural. So I agree with you.
And she's like, come on, do them. And then, It's important to add that little flirtatious laugh.
But she has like the really awkward like.
Right. The Kristen Stewart-isms.
Stewart, I mean,
it's whatever. Just take it. Just take the steroids.
steroids.
But then throughout the film, we see her like buying more.
Yeah.
So at first she's like, "These are free. Don't worry about it." But then she's like buying more steroids from people at the gym to give to Jackie.
Yeah.
So she's like feeding this habit throughout, right? Which leads Jackie to get really swole, I will say.
What do you think of the shots of
like
the like
muscles
like growing?
They were cool shots, and maybe they alluded to the ending of the film. But I'm not sure if that's how muscle growth works.
No, I think after the first couple, I was like, this is metaphorical.
Yeah, right.
Because I was like, that's impossible.
Now, I will say there were scenes where it wasn't like those shots, but it was just like a shot of Jackie, and she was getting mad, and you could see her veins start to come out.
Really?
And I was like, that's cool.
I don't think I noticed that.
Yeah, like, well...
Like in the hospital?
Yeah, in the hospital it
was,
happens.
Like,
Her veins are bulging out, and then she does the thing. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Unless you had anything else to add about Lou and Jackie.
It's an interesting dynamic. This is what modern dating is, you know. You passionate up front, kill somebody, hide the body, and then you either ride off into the sunset with a body in the back of your truck or you don't.
I hope I never have to experience that.
I think you're done, right?
I hope
You've
so.
already done that.
That's the plan.
You've already done that once.
I've already gotten through it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about the thing. So Beth gets
almost killed.
It's brutal. She goes to the hospital. Lou is distraught, and Jade.
I don't think distraught is the correct word.
Furious. Livid,
she's
snapping. But Lou Senior comes in and is just like, "Oh, Beth, it'll heal." And then he's like, "We're gonna have to talk to JJ."
You make him sound. I mean, he is country. But you're like, we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to talk to JJ.
He's not Southern. I guess that's true. But Lou seems to know that means like nothing's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Jackie's sitting in the chair, just getting angrier and angrier.
Yeah,
veins are popping, muscles are bulging, and so she just gets up and is like, "I'm gonna
go take care of this." Which it's interesting that Lou just let her take the keys and drive off in her truck. I guess she was like, "Okay, later, babe.
Yeah.
I guess you're going to the gym. See you."
We see JJ, who does he look remorseful? I don't know.
He has a drink. I mean, I don't know if it's remorse or if it's
drink.
There's a difference between remorse and like shame. I think maybe he's shameful.
Yeah, because he has a drink after when he's listening to the message from Lou Senior, right?
Yeah, so maybe he's scared.
Before then, he walks in and like his hands are bloody. Maybe it's shame. Maybe
he gave a statement to the police with that bloody hand, like his knuckles are all messed up.
What could he have said?
Yeah, I guess if.
But we also learned that the police are being paid off. So.
Well, at least one of them is.
Yeah.
Right.
True. Anyway, so then Jackie shows up and just destroys his face. She curb stomps him with a table to the point where his whole entire jaw comes off and he dies.
Do you think you could do that to somebody? Like,
like physically?
Not like be so angry that you would do that to somebody, but like physically, do you think you could do that?
I don't know. Maybe not on a coffee table. If it was concrete.
Wild.
If it was like a concrete curb, I guess it's not going to give, but like, that was gross.
It was pretty wild.
It was unexpected.
I was expecting something. I was expecting her to kill him. I thought because like 2 scenes prior, Lou teaches her how to shoot a gun. I thought she was just going to shoot him.
Yeah.
I did not think she was going to
break his face in half.
And kill him. Would that
kill you?
I mean, it would kill you eventually, but I don't know if it would be like an instant death. It's not like she caved his skull in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I
wonder
don't
if
know.
it
I
was
don't
just
want to think about the
I
details.
know. Anyway, he's dead.
He's very dead.
He's dead. And like Lou eventually finds her way home and sees her truck. Lou sees her blue truck at Beth's house. And so goes in and then discovers JJ.
Naked in the tub.
No, that's Lou. I mean, that's
sorry.
Jackie.
Yeah.
She discovers JJ.
She discovers JJ.
JJ's body, and then finds Jackie naked in the tub, not speaking, whatever. And then this is where I will say that I at this point was like, okay, yeah, Lou's dad is up to no good. It showed that he was like running guns and stuff, and obviously was into some crime stuff. But I did not really expect Lou to be like, oh, I used to be the henchman or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when Lou's like, I know what to do, just do what I say, I was like, oh yeah, okay, so she has practice.
Yeah.
You know? Yes.
I know that Lou has a lot of animosity towards her father.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if they had just called him, it would have gotten cleaned up and they would have avoided a lot of messiness?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you think
Yeah.
do you think he still would have tried to pin it on Jackie, even though, I mean, not pin it because Jackie did it?
I don't know.
Or do you think it would have been like, let's just dispose of this? Because at that point, it wasn't found burning in the chasm. They could have just thrown it in the chasm and they never would have found it, right?
Theoretically, yeah.
So, anyways, I do like the way that the story went because it was more interesting.
Yes, and it's more about breaking out of your vicious and toxic cycles.
Kind of by perpetrating them for just a little bit longer, you know?
Yeah, you know what's interesting is I watched this video. This is really funny. I watched some videos on this just to kind of get other people's insights, and I found one that was like the psychology of love lies bleeding, and I thought this would be interesting. But it talked mainly about like one kind of idea, and it's the like surrendering to what you really want. And it's like the theory was like most people can't actually handle what they really want, like can't really own it and face up to what they really want. And what Lou really wanted, in this theory, I guess, was to kill JJ.
She says it multiple times.
Yes, but like she won't actually face it or do it.
Yeah.
And so Jackie becomes like the personification of that. And the point of this guy's theory is that if we gave in to those things wholeheartedly, it would just be absolute chaos. And it'd be like a disaster. So that's kind of what ensues. But on the other side of it, in a way, she like, I don't know, does she come out of it better off because she's, you know what I mean?
So
We'll get there.
that's why when Ryan Gosling says, "What do you want?"
She says it's not that simple.
It's not that simple. Because if you give in to what you really want, chaos will ensue.
Well, it's funny because like this guy used the cigarettes as like a token of like showing if she's giving in to, if she, you know what I'm saying? Like there's one part where she's smoking cigarettes, but she's always listening to a podcast, to a tape about how to stop smoking.
Yep.
And then throughout the film, she's like giving it up. And then there's one part where she's throwing JJ's body in the car and she sees cigarettes in his back pocket.
And she says, nope.
And she's like, nah. But then at the end, sorry, we'll circle back, but at the end with Daisy's body, when she fully steps into it, she takes the cigarettes and like lights up.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
She also smokes a cigarette at one point when she starts like kissing Jackie's butt.
Oh yeah.
And Jackie's like, I thought you quit. And she's like, this doesn't count or something like that. Because that's what she really wants.
Wow. Cigarettes.
So what does Jackie really want? To just roid the fuck out and become a giant She-Hulk?
Well, I guess for her it was at all costs to win that competition.
Which doesn't happen.
No,
She throws
because
up.
she throws up Lou.
That was a trippy scene
Was a trippy scene.
because what happens before she throws up Lou? Something happens before that that's like, what the fuck? Oh, she sees JJ, right? She's on
Does she?
stage. She's on stage and she like sees JJ with his jaw messed up and she starts freaking out.
Oh,
And then I
okay.
think she sees Lou Sr. and then she throws up Lou, which is odd. What do you think that meant? Her throwing up Lou?
She has a steroid-induced psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's, I don't know, is that like, I don't know. Maybe to me it kind of goes back to what I said, where it's like, because she even says it later. She's like, I wish I never met you. Like, where she is now, these problems are Lou's in a sense that she like took on. Is she trying to like throw that up and get that out? You know what I mean?
Maybe. Or is it like in Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2, where Harry kind of gets killed or whatever, but then it's really just like the baby Voldemort underneath the bench.
Baby fetus. Voldemort fetus? Yeah, like discarding like some sort of personification of an idea of a person or whatever.
Maybe Jackie leaving and that moment triggered Lou to kill the old Lou that was trying to hide who she was and choke Daisy in the back of a truck Lou.
Well, there's a moment that I think you see Lou make that choice.
It's when she's cleaning up Daisy's body, right? When she's like, fuck.
Well, so long story short...
Or is there another moment?
I think that is it. Long story short, no, it's after that, at least to me. Long story short, Jackie goes to jail. Lou Sr. bails her out. And like essentially, we forgot one big detail. When Jackie and Lou are getting rid of JJ's car and JJ's body, one person sees them, and it's Daisy. Daisy then, after Lou and
Who
her
just exists on the streets, I guess.
Yeah, I guess when Lou and Jackie split up, Daisy kind of uses that information to get close to Lou and start a relationship with her, which Jackie finds out and is very angry about. Because that's her one phone call. She calls Lou, and Daisy answers. Anyway, Lou Sr. sends Jackie to kill Daisy, which that caught me by surprise.
It caught me by surprise for one reason. I thought it might be a possibility, but I didn't think it would happen because how the hell would Lou Sr. know that Daisy knew?
She knew. He knew somehow.
Right? Like how would he know? I think that might be a plot hole. Unless Daisy had already told a cop and that cop happened to be Mike, the cop.
Maybe.
Who was paid off.
Yeah. Anyway. Excuse me. Jackie comes in and shoots Daisy like in the face.
Back of the head, I think.
So how does she wake up later?
You can take a gunshot to the head and survive.
But you're right. Anyway, so Lou has to like clean shit up, and the FBI comes, and it's this whole thing. But the scene to me is when Lou, go on.
Sorry, you talk about the film, and I'm just like the color comment. You know, like in sports, there's like I'm Frenchy.
Okay, cool.
Those FBI agents were not very observant because there was a cat licking a puddle of blood.
Yeah, not observant at all.
You feel like
bad at their jobs.
Have you ever been around someone who had like a bad cut and there's like blood, like quite a bit? Have you ever been around anything like that?
I don't know, maybe.
It smells like iron.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you would smell it.
I know what blood smells like. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, tastes like.
Well, like if you like bust your lip.
Vampire?
Yes, I'm a vampire.
Coppery, irony.
Yeah, metallic.
That's why they're the best metal band. Metallica. Master.
Anyway, so
Dun, 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 dun.
so Lou Senior sends a cop to kill Lou.
Because Lou threatens him by saying she's going to tell the FBI everything if he doesn't let Jackie go.
Okay, so yes. Okay, so it is right after that scene. Yeah, that's the moment. There's a moment where like Lou Senior's like, "Are you threatening me?" And Lou, it's like you can see every experience with her dad. Like she's contemplating everything, and she makes the choice to say,
Yep.
"Yep, yep."
Yep, I am.
And I was like, "That's good. That's really good. Good acting. Good scene." Because to me, that was when she was like, "I'm in it. I guess this is what I am.
In it to win it.
In it to win it." And then the cop comes to try and kill him. Shall we talk about the ending?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm trying to see. I can't remember what happened. So Lou goes back after she kills Daisy.
You mean
And
Jackie goes back?
Jackie gets back.
After she
goes
kills
back.
gets hit over the head by Lou
tied
Senior, tied up in the corn shed. Is that what it was called?
Silo. It's not a silo.
Whatever. But yeah.
But Lou Senior's like, we're gonna pin it on her. She'll go to prison. For double homicide, which ironically she is the one who did it.
Right. So it's interesting that they're like, let's pin it on her when like it's not. She did it. You know,
She did do it. We understand that she wasn't the only player, but she did technically do it. But then so then Lou threatens Lou Senior, and then Lou Senior gets really mad and he eats a bug.
That was when I was like, this guy's unhinged and he needs some hair or he needs to get rid of all of it. Yeah, when he started punching stuff and just ate one of his bugs. Can you imagine? Like, those are his pets, right?
Yeah. That bug thinks he's like living the good life and he's just like...
Imagine having like a fish tank and just having like a freak out and like eating a fish.
No.
Just eating a goldfish.
Okay, anyway. So Lou goes to confront her dad. She's confronted by Beth.
Beth, who is like fully Stockholm Syndrome.
Yep.
You know, hates her sister now because her sister tried to protect her. And Lou's right. JJ was going to kill her at some point, you know.
Yep. So she is just like, whatever, fine. I think she's doing something to like her injuries that like force Beth to like stay where she is. So she goes and gets Jackie. They like fight for a second, and then they like reconcile, you know. But they had this plan. She tells Jackie to get out of there, meet around back, whatever, and Lou's gonna go confront her dad. Well, Lou gets shot in the leg because her dad's a psychopath who's gonna kill his own kid.
And he sticks his finger in it.
Oh yeah, that's gross. But Jackie hears the screaming and becomes enraged.
Not just enraged.
She becomes a giant. A literal giant. As in like, not the Hulk, bigger than the Hulk.
Bigger than She-Hulk, the
like
chick
a
from...
genuine giant.
Yeah.
Like if she stood up tall, a grown man comes to like her mid-shin.
Well, she picked up... She picks up Lou Sr. with one hand, and he's just like,
Yeah.
His arms outstretched, like he's completely helpless. Yeah, she's large.
She's like King Kong. She's like King Kong size.
Yeah.
Jackie becomes a kaiju.
Basically, Jackie becomes a kaiju.
Pins him down. Sounds like she breaks his arms. I don't know if she does.
I think she broke his arms and maybe his legs too.
Yeah.
Because he's unable to move.
He's like helpless. And then so Lou goes up and is just like about to blow his head off. Puts a gun in his mouth. But chooses not to kill him and leaves him for the police, who are presumably not on his payroll.
Right.
Then we get a scene, great scene, beautiful scene, of Lou, also a giant,
Running through the clouds.
running through the clouds.
Just like.
Beautiful scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then we fast forward. They're driving somewhere. Jackie's asleep. Lou's smoking. No, no, she's not smoking a cigarette. Lou's driving. A thud happens. Fucking Daisy wakes up. After how many days?
Not fully. Probably the next day, honestly.
Okay, so like a day.
Not fully. Just sort of like is still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not like I'm Daisy. I seek vengeance. You know what I mean? Like
but
she's not
her
like
eyes
coherent.
Are like open.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, they opened more when
She looked out of it.
Awful. She looked terrible. So Lou, having stepped fully into, I guess, who she is and embracing her past and that side of her, calmly stops the car, goes back out there, and starts choking Daisy out to finish the job. And the film ends with it's a great frame. We have Jackie asleep in the passenger seat. Out the window, you can see Lou dragging the body out into
Burying
the desert, stopping to light up a cigarette and looking very annoyed. And that's the movie.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, please.
Your opinion.
Where are we at? Let's see.
Your opinion.
We can wrap it up soon, but yeah.
Do you think giant
I do think
giant Jackie actually happens?
No.
Or do you think it's a metaphor?
I think it's metaphorical.
Okay, tell me a metaphor.
I think a couple of things. One, that could be like how she felt, the steroids, obviously, because we see her muscles bulging throughout the film, right? But I kind of viewed it because of it showing like Lou getting giant afterwards.
That's just like their love for each other is like
It's kind
empowers
of,
them.
Yeah, like a love for each other empowers them, but also breaking free, genuinely breaking free of like her dad.
Okay.
And like overpowering that in a literal sense. I don't think she actually got like super massive or whatever.
So that being said, do you think she still like the events of that scene? Do you think she picked Lou up, drug him over there, and broke his arms?
No, I think she did something that broke his arms and pinned him down. I don't think she like picked him up.
Okay.
But I think that she could have beat him up.
Yeah,
for
even
sure.
though he had a gun. Because
Maybe.
he hides behind. Remember at the beginning when she was like, "I don't like guns. I don't like to hide
like
behind. You can act real tough hiding behind metal. I like to prove my strength."
Yeah. Maybe she snuck up on him in a way, but I didn't take it as a literal. I mean, at first I was like, "Hold on a minute, what the hell?" And then it's because it's interesting. It's those kinds of things where you're like, "Wait a second," when something like that happens and they interact with another character.
Right.
In the scene.
Right. It's different
it's
if it was just like her like getting big.
Or like if it was just her and Lou running through the clouds. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, it's metaphorical. But like, yes, when it's like she picks him up, it's like, okay, hold on.
They're lucky it didn't get to it didn't have the same effect on me as like the end of Men.
I literally thought about Men.
Yeah, I thought
about Men first when Lou threw up, and I was like, fuck, we're going to have like a Men scenario where they just keep coming out of each other or something. But yeah, that's where it got so abstract where you're like, wait a second, what's happening?
Yeah.
Because in that one, there's no way that was real, but also there's no way it wasn't because of how the story happened. Like,
right.
I think Jackie could have overpowered Lou Sr. and pinned him down, you know? What do you think?
I'll buy that.
Think it was real?
Would you? No, I don't think it was real. There's no way it was real. It's just, like you said, the way it was portrayed on screen, not only does she get big, but she interacts with another main player in the story. So it's like, okay, so what actually happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What'd your psychology film say? Or psychology video?
They actually didn't even talk about that.
Okay. Interesting, because it seems like a pretty big one.
Yeah. The ones that I have watched kind of are along the same lines of like, it's not meant to be like literally happening. It's more of like the overcoming of that kind of the boundaries that they were in and the hold that her dad had on him.
So if Love Lies Bleeding Does that mean that hate truths Band-Aids?
That's a sequel.
Hate truths Band-Aids. Or what would be the opposite of bleeding? Like cauterizing? Stitching?
Scabbing. Something gross.
Hate truths scabbing.
Oh, man. Okay, so Zach, you have to ask me a question, don't you?
Oh, Hunter Callahan. But
do I look cool like this?
Yeah. Did you do it because I did it earlier?
No, this is just really comfortable.
It is comfortable, isn't it?
It's comfortable, but I feel also kind of like I'm badass. Be like, yeah, I don't really care that much about anything.
Listen, bros.
Whatever.
Buy AMC and GameStop stock. Sorry, that's like a big thing right now.
Why?
I don't know why. It's like a meme, but GameStop went up like 100% yesterday.
Oh, well, good for
There
them.
were 5 times during... Well, it's not good necessarily because it overvalues... Like a bunch of people just buy it and it inflates the value, but it's not actually worth that much. So then it's going to drop eventually. But there were, and to counteract that, there were like 5 points in time where they stopped trading on the stock to try and like
even out,
calm people down and be like, stop. And then when they open it back up, anyways, all that to say, that was just like a podcast bro joke because we're podcast bros.
We are. You know what I'd love to buy? I would love to get like a used Xbox Series S. Just for fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a question.
What would you play on it? That's my question.
Probably Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
There's one of the games that I saw that I liked that I thought that would be fun to play, but I can't remember what it was.
Elden Ring.
It wasn't Elden Ring.
You should play Elden Ring.
What was it? I can't remember. I literally just saw something and I was like, I would play that.
Well, if you want to play the Spider-Man game, I think you have to get a PlayStation.
I do not care to play that game.
You're not a Spider-Man fan?
What was it? I was literally just like...
You looking through your history?
Yeah, because like, what was I looking at?
Pornhub.
Oh, Jedi Survivor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I really enjoyed Jedi Fallen Order.
It was good. It was...
And so
it was good.
I didn't say it was good, but I said I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So
I said it was good.
So I was like, that'd be fun to play. And then I was like, I wonder how much they cost.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of money anyway.
My hesitation is just the whole Disney Star Wars thing. Just too much, Even though they re-released episode 1, that felt, Oh, I never asked you the question, Hunter, but Callahan, but is Love Lies Bleeding good?
Yeah, it's really good. It's super good. It's rad, actually. It's a good movie. I think it's a really fresh take on kind of the thriller crime genre with a lot of infusions of really cool elements like I don't want to say love story, but like the love story in there, the dare I say violence, like it doesn't feel cheap, it feels earned.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good movie. Yeah, it's really, really good. How about you?
Yeah, it's good. It's rad. I think there should be different levels to our rankings now. So there's good. Would good be the highest or like kind of in the middle?
Well, the podcast is called But Is It Good? So it's like, is that the bar?
That's the threshold.
Because like Dune 2 is not just good, it's amazing.
Right. Okay. So we've got good.
Okay, hold on. That's the bar that a movie has to at least pass.
Right. So good
That's
is
the minimum.
Good is like the minimum.
Yeah, okay.
Then above,
so write this down.
Above good, we would have. So let's start from the top. We have like phenomenal,
golden good,
life-changing, golden good nominee, right? Like, yeah.
I'm writing this down.
Peak.
So, yeah.
Below that, we have like amazing, maybe like phenomenal, excellent. Then we have rad. And below rad, we have rad-ish.
Is it spicy radish?
Spicy radish. Yeah. So I think this rises to the level of rad.
And then good?
And then good, yeah.
So it's great. Where is that?
Great is above good, but below radish, spicy radish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this rad.
This is rad. So it's better than great.
And it's also better than spicy radish.
It's also better than spicy radish. Yeah.
I like it. Cool.
Yeah.
Every movie sucks?
Every movie sucks.
We're gonna read bad reviews for the movie. Gonna read ones that maybe they're funny, but oftentimes they're just kind of lame. Okay. Here we go. Half star. profoundly repulsive, deeply offensive, absolutely horrible, and utterly disgusting. What kind of movies do you like?
I'm really a big fan of like Lord of the Rings films,
Favorite film is Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2
which we just talked about.
and Inglourious Bastards. Saltburn? I haven't seen Saltburn, but I'm pretty sure it's like pretty intense. Oh, he gave Oppenheimer a half star.
Here's one that says somehow the evil bug-eating crime boss was the most reasonable person in this shitty-ass movie. In some ways he was. He seemed very just like I said, it seems so disjointed the way that he was like this level-headed like criminal who just like did what needed to be done according to his fucked up moral compass, right? But he felt like very put together. And then he had that hair that looked like he should have been like the bad guy in The Lovely Bones or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, what's the movie where the girl gets murdered?
Lovely Bones.
Yeah, Lovely Bones.
Yeah, it's not. It was Ryan Gosling, but is it Stanley Tucci?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know the story of that movie, that Ryan Gosling showed up on set and they're like, "You're too fat."
What?
Like he gained weight. He gained weight for the role without the approval of the director, and got to set and they're like, "No, dude."
Huh.
I think it was Ryan Gosling, but I've also never seen him bigger.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So he must have lost it really fast. But
Yeah.
apparently he gained weight and they're like, "Bro, what the hell?"
So rather than like giving him some time, they just recast and moved on, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. This says,
You know what? That's why it wasn't a great. I mean, it's a pretty good film, but it's not Spicy Radish. Because remember,
no, but I think that mainly it's mainly because I don't really care for Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Because I do love Stanley Tucci.
Okay, that's fair. Remember that on the set of Apocalypse Now, Marlon Brando showed up overweight, and they just worked with it.
And it became like a legendary film.
Not only a legendary film, but a legendary performance from him.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if they had gone with it. It could have been Lovely Bones could have been the next Apocalypse Now.
Mm.
And it wasn't. All right, read another review. I'm done fucking around. It's time to get serious.
I'm reading this one and I'm not going to read it because it's just really mean. Might actually make the top 5 of dumbest fucking movies I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of dumb fucking movies. Half star.
That's the one I was going to read. Here's one that says, you can literally smell this movie. It's so disgusting. How can anyone like this shit?
Let's see. I'll do one more. Let me see.
Let me do one more. Okay.
I really wanted to like this, but alas, 2 of my favorite things about this film were Ed Harris's haircut and being part of a cinema audience collectively laughing, groaning, commenting as a shared coping mechanism. Interesting. Your turn, last one. Take us home.
Honestly, WTF is this?
Classic, simple, to the point.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it. That's Love Lies Bleeding. Here's some news. Ready for some hot news? Hot takes? Hot scoops?
I am.
I got a decent amount of news. Here's one. You know how there's been now 4 Planet of the Apes movies? There's been more than that, but 4 of the like new series.
Mm-hmm.
They're making 5 more.
5 more?
5 more. They want to do 9 movies.
Okay. All right. You know what? I will say this.
Apparently they're decent.
I was gonna
I've only
say
seen one.
Apparently they're decent.
I know Matt Reeves kind of blew up doing that. My microphone got messed up. Oh well. But yeah, I don't know like where they take place. If it's like now, I think now they're after Planet of the Apes.
You mean like the original?
They did like a trilogy leading up to how it happens, and then now they're like after the original.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but they're making 5 more. Speaking of Matt Reeves, we got our first look at the Matt Reeves animated Batman film show called The Caped Crusader. Has a very retro style to it. Looks pretty cool. The Marvel Universe has cast Ralph Ineson, I think, to play Galactus. The Marvel show, the Marvel's Agatha Harkness series, which I think is called Agatha all along, might have changed names again.
There's multiple title cards that have been, and people think it's just a marketing thing.
Because one of them says Agatha the Lying Witch and with Great Wardrobe.
Which
I thought, please don't be the title because that sounds really dumb. But that, and then also Daredevil and Ironheart all got new shows. Agatha's shows in September. I think Daredevil's like next March, and then Ironheart is sometime in 2025. The new Supergirl film is going to be released in June of 2026. Big one that we could have gone to. Ewan McGregor showed up at the Plaza Theater in Atlanta for the episode 1 screening, the Atlanta Film Festival. Nick Cage is set to star in the live-action Spider-Man Noir series. He plays Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Verse for Amazon Prime, and I have to ask how many studios have the rights to Spider-Man. Apparently all of them. Bollywood superstar Taboo will star in the Dune prequel series Dune the Prophecy, which is set 10,000 years before the time of Paul Atreides. It's going to be on Max.
Is it a show?
It's a show. Janelle Monáe is in talks apparently to star as a prominent X-Men, something that it could be Storm.
Okay.
I don't know if I've mentioned this last time about Chris Evans. Did I mention him coming back?
You did.
Apparently there's rumor that he's going to be in a show about Steve Rogers putting the Infinity Stones back, which would make sense because Marvel pretty much came out and said, we're only going to do things that we think are going to make money now.
Yeah.
So that happened. Frank Grillo has joined the cast of Peacemaker Season 2 as Rick Flag Sr. He's playing Rick Flag Sr. in the new DCU, which now everyone's kind of confused because they're like, wait a second, Rick Flag got killed by Peacemaker. Rick Flag Jr. got killed by Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad, which was set in the DCEU, but apparently that it's going to carry over because he was like, Rick Flag Sr.'s got unfinished business with Peacemaker because he killed his son. So that's happening. Got our first first posters for Kinds of Kindness. I have a lot, sorry. Kinds of Kindness. X-Men are rumored to be introduced in a separate, clean slated universe from the current MCU after Secret Wars. Apparently after Secret Wars, they're going to start over. Edgar Wright is in talks to direct the new Sydney Sweeney Barbarella film remake. We have the streaming bundles wars between Netflix, Apple, and Paramount. Peacock?
That sounds right. I don't know.
I think it's Netflix, Apple Plus, and Peacock are bundling with Comcast, and then Disney, Hulu, ESPN, and Max
maybe
are bundling together. Anyway, I think that's it. I have one more. Jeff Bridges is set to star with Dave Bautista in the monster classic Grendel, which is Beowulf. Cillian Murphy is going to executive produce 28 Years Later. And then somehow Gollum has returned.
Yep.
A new Lord of the Rings film produced by Peter Jackson and directed by Andy Serkis. And then the big one that broke the internet for a little while is we got our first full look at David Cornsweet's Superman, released by James Gunn himself. The suit.
It's got lines on it. Too many lines on it.
It's got lines. People are up in arms because that takes a lot. That and the collar, the high collar, take a lot from the New 52 run that DC did, comic books.
Okay.
Where the suits were like really like sharp and like he had a collar. Batman's looks amazing in that run. But people were all mad about Superman's suit because it was like had lines and like piping, and then it had a collar, and they hated the collar for some reason. But he's got the trunks.
He does have trunks.
I like the S. I think it looks good. I will say that to me, it looks like it's kind of loose.
Okay.
Like in the shoulders. But I'm like, whatever, cool.
Whatever.
Make a good movie. That's the news of the week.
Did you see that the trailer for Megalopolis dropped?
I did not see the trailer. How's it look?
It looks interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's a Francis Ford Coppola film, so it's going to be probably a spectacle. There's also a story that came out today, and it was part of a bigger piece, but this was like the headline that was making the rounds on Twitter, that apparently during filming they were at some like nightclub, and Francis Ford Coppola started kissing female extras to try and quote get them in the mood for the scene. So I'm not sure.
That's generally frowned upon.
Generally, yeah. But
I didn't see that, but I saw somebody's response to it. Somebody who worked on the set said that he didn't see anything.
Okay.
But I didn't actually see that headline. So I hope that's not true. Because that would suck. Because he's also super old.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. News? That's news of the week.
It's news of the week. Yeah, so here's a story from Hollywood Reporter. Producer said he was never aware of any complaints of harassment while filming the much discussed epic. So who knows? Maybe it was bullshit.
Who knows? Who knows? Zach, how are the Braves doing?
Braves won today.
7-0.
So
we got a vintage Braves performance today.
7-0.
Finally.
Hey, do you know how many teams in the major leagues have not been shut out this year?
One.
Do you know who they are?
The Braves.
The Atlanta mother freaking Braves. Do you know who hit a home run today?
Your cousin.
Yeah, my cousin. That's right, Matt Olson.
Not actually your cousin. Could be, maybe.
He could be.
Yeah.
He could be. Do you know who pitched really well today?
No. Who pitched?
I don't know either.
Ronaldo pitched great yesterday.
He did. He pitched very well. Might have been. Oh, it was Chris Sale. Chris Sale has been killing it, man.
He's killing it. Pitching's been killing it.
Pitching has been killing it.
I know Minter blew a save, but like all in all, pitching has been like
pretty darn solid.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Hate the Phillies.
Hate the Phillies. We're 2 games back, and
nobody.
we were discussing this
off
the air. The Phillies have had by far the easiest schedule in all of Major League Baseball thus far this season. That's going to change at some point. So it looks like they're going to have a pretty intense June and part of July. So, you know, and I'm telling you, we don't need to worry about the Braves until October.
That's true.
Hopefully we won't need to worry about the Braves in October, but I'm saying if there's a time to worry, it would be October. But
I was going to say, you know, the last time we had a really rough regular season, and by all means, it actually hasn't been rough. We're just spoiled.
The 88 win season?
The last time we had a rougher regular season, we won the World Series. So
yeah. That's right.
We've already sacrificed one season-ending injury. We did Ronnie then, and now we just Strider. Perhaps it's a good omen.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, Zach, that's very brave of you.
It's the bravest thing I've done all week.
To whiskey, be kind to people. And my cool thing this week is that I have sparkly nails that are kind of getting messed up. But
I need to clip my nails.
I was at work last week, 2 weeks ago, and my friend Amaya was like, "Give me your hand." And I was like, "Okay." And she painted my nails while I was working. And I was like, "Rad, thank you." I think I'm going to paint them for Eddie's and just piss off a bunch of all white dudes. To whiskey and Jack.
That's only people that come to your shows.
Yeah.
Old white dudes. How do I work at that?
I feel like I'm breathing fire.
What was it? Is it because it's the bottom of the bottle?
Maybe. That was rough.
That burned my throat. Hunter, where can they find us?
They can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Bud is a Good Podcast. You can still find us. I'm going to catch up, I promise. Find us on X for now at BIIG Podcast. You can email us at biigpodcast@gmail.com or budisagoodpodcast@gmail.com. You can find me at Hunter Callahan Music Everywhere. I'm playing a show at Eddie's Attic in June. If you live in Atlanta, come check it out. Zach will be there selling merch. Zach, do you even do Instagram?
No, I don't really do Instagram.
Okay. Don't worry about it then. I mean, just look him up, Zach Olson. He'll pop up.
I'll pop up. There's only one of me.
That is true. And then next week we're doing challengers. I should have done a poll.
To see.
Should I still do a poll? Because I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Is there enough time for people to vote? Or are we going to get like 3 votes between now and when you're going to see the
We'll
movie?
do challengers.
That's right.
It's been all the talk. So
It looks. There's this one frame that people are like, "Oh my god!" And so I want to see why that one frame is so fascinating.
What's the frame? Just show it to me afterwards. Because I don't know if it's a spoiler.
Okay.
Anyway, we're doing challengers and then something Furiosa, I think. And then next month we're going to do Lord of the Rings and Kinds of Kindness. Cool, go Braves.
But is it good podcast? Yeah.